Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Kiwi Lad 69. I'm just gonna do a little video. What you're gonna be seeing in this video is me kind of talking about kind of what's been happening in Fortnite in my opinion for at least the last year. As you can see, I've not bothered at all with this event. I'll show you my tickets as well. I don't even know where the tickets are. Oh, have I even got a ticket? Okay, yeah, that sums up my point. I haven't even got a single ticket for this event. Yeah, I've got no tickets for this event. I haven't opened a single thing. Really not bothered with this event at the moment. This is all my previous stuff, so yeah, it's going to obviously be there. But yeah, anyway, I'll get on to this video instead of just kind of dangling about. I will kind of just go through all my stuff just so you can see that obviously I've been playing for a while. So this video is about why I have not been playing anywhere near as much as I used to. In fact, I just full stop aren't playing anymore. The first and biggest reason which I've realised as to why I do not play this game anymore is there's literally no grind in this game. When I say there's no grind, if I play this game for say maybe 2 missions a day just to get some mission tickets or whatever, or if I play 10 missions a day, at the end of the week I've got nothing really that's going to be any difference in my gameplay. Nothing's going to be a massive impact. All I'm going to have is some extra resources, which at the end of the day does not impact my gameplay. There's no reason to grind in this game. If I open 10 llamas or if I open 100, I'm going to get the same weapons. I can re-perk them. These weapons will be the exact same weapons that I would get regardless of how many games I play. So there is no reason now for me to grind. For the people that haven't been playing this game that long, or you know, just don't kind of understand what I mean by this, so back in the day, if you wanted to play Fortnite and you wanted to, you know, get some good weapons, what you'd have to do is you'd have to grind your ass off every event because the weapon rolls were rubbish. What I mean by rubbish, I'm just trying to find a good example now. So, see, this isn't an event weapon, but kind of illustrates my point. So you'd have to open 1,000,000 llamas, and you'd get something that would kind of look like this, which would have semi-decent rolls. Just trying to figure out if I've got any others that I can kind of go off. So yeah, you'd have to keep on grinding, open like 100 llamas, and maybe you'd get, you know, 2 or 3 good weapons. Out of those 2 or 3 good weapons, maybe one of them would have good rolls on them. So the reason why you'd keep on grinding in Fortnite back in the day was you'd want to possibly, if you're extremely lucky, get a weapon with good rolls, which you wouldn't have got unless you were grinding. Now, compare that to now, you just get a few tickets, you get the same weapon, and you re-perk it. Obviously it's great for the casual, but there is no grind here whatsoever. You can say the same for the heroes. Literally, once you've got one hero, you know, you've got them all. You don't really need to keep on grinding any further than that. Because obviously you can only put one hero in your hero loadout. So there's no reason for me to play 100 games a week anymore. I can play 5, I can play 10, or I can play none. At the moment, yeah, I really haven't played anything. The game just doesn't interest me anymore. It's boring. There's no grind. People can say as much as they want, but I can pretty much go ahead and get a million perk up and perk up all my weapons. That's great, mate. You can perk up as many weapons as you want, but I bet you're not going to even use half of those weapons. I use pretty much the same 5, maybe 10 weapons, and you know what? I grinded perk up for a year and a half, or however long it's been out. Since it's been out, I've grinded the hell out of perk up, perked up a lot of weapons, and you know what? doesn't change my gameplay. It does not change the gameplay whatsoever. I don't get any more enjoyment from having 2 weapons that have been perked up fully or 30. There's no difference. I do not get any more enjoyment out of the game because I have way more weapons that have been perked up. So there's no reward, again, for me smashing a lot of time into this game. I'll move on to my second point because I think that should be quite obvious what I'm meaning by that point. This one is, unfortunately, it's about the player base, but it's also, player base has kind of been impacted by a lot of the game changes that Epic have done. So now, people are going to possibly disagree with this. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're probably wrong. So due to game changes with XP and kind of, just being able to get a lot more Survivor XP and evolved materials now than when you used to. To give you an idea, back in the day, if you used to do PL 100 missions, you'd maybe get 10,000 Survivor XP for, a PL 100 mission and a Survivor mission. Obviously, comparing that to now, you get fucking, I don't know, sorry about my language by the way, but you get, maybe 12 times that. I've seen people that have been getting crits on 4 times Survivor XP and getting like 4 million Survivor XP in one game. Don't quote me, but I think you need about 30 million Survivor XP or something like that. So to max your whole squads out, you're getting almost, if you're getting a fair chunk in just one mission. There's no grind there whatsoever. It's very easy to get to max PL, or even, boosting your PL rapidly. So with that, you can pretty much get to the end game very, very quickly nowadays, probably less than a month. And if you disagree with that, just create a second account and just speed run the hell of it. Don't bother farming that much hero XP or schematic XP. Just do your mission quests. Just farm Survivor XP, and you'll just see how quickly you can get intertwined. Now, my issue with that is there's players that have been playing this game for 30 days. They're in the end game that I've got to do missions with, and you know what? They don't know how to play the game. They are rubbish. They haven't got the right heroes. They haven't got the right weapons. They haven't got any traps. They don't know how to play the game. And I'm having to do my missions with players that don't know how to play, which results in me having to use a lot more resources, me not enjoying the game, me just going, what the hell are these people on crack? Now, I think that in part to blame is because of Epic being on crack. Epic, you've let this player base go on for too long. And I'll kind of explain that in a bit in a second. But you've also ruined the community by allowing these changes so that anyone can play the end game and get there very, very quickly. If you haven't noticed as well, I've kind of done videos on this in the past. I've complained about it on Reddit. I've complained about it everywhere. Everyone's complained about it. Is the fact that there's still an awful player base. Everyone encounters people that AFK or leech missions that just farm the mission, the whole mission, and that's almost every other game, if not every game, there's someone that does that. My issue with that is I can report as many people as I want. I've reported, I'm going to say, maybe 500, 600 players. I played over 5,000 games, so yeah, it's quite a lot of players considering the reports haven't been up for that long. I think it's quite ridiculous that I can tell that out of all those players that I've reported, definitely not many of them have been banned. Probably hardly any of them have actually had any repercussion at all. So that kind of goes tied in with Epic ruining the player base, because I honestly just don't think they've done enough. They've not listened to us. You can say, oh, okay, they've brought in a reporting feature. Cool, they brought in a reporting feature, but why am I still seeing the same behavior? I get it, it's the community doing the behavior, but Epic haven't done enough in this part. and it's been a year and a half, maybe two, coming up to 2 years probably, where I've had to deal with AFKs, leeches, just people that just don't want to play the game, that want to sabotage missions, that spout awful stuff, just behaviours that I really don't want to see in this game. And you know what? The end story is Epic need to they need to man up. They need to do something about it. But unfortunately they haven't done anything, and I can't be bothered with it, which is probably why you see a lot of players actually leaving the game. They just can't be bothered with all the AFKs, and the people leeching because they don't get any repercussion. I did send an email into Epic saying, look, I'm sick of all these AFK and leeches. Can you actually do something about it? And they just said, oh, go report the mission, go report the players. Mate, every mission is a report. I'm having to spend time that I could be doing missions, taking me away from actually playing and enjoying the game by reporting people with bad behaviour, meaning I'm spending time trying to tell on people instead of just enjoying it. So I don't know, it's just backwards. They should have some automatic stuff that they can kind of, filter out people's behaviours, just instantly kick them, ban them for a day, ban them for a week, ban them for a month. It's just a joke, really, with that. I'm going to move on to the next point. Oh, sorry. One other thing that I would actually like to say is kind of going on to this point actually is, again, people probably won't understand this because you haven't been playing for long enough. Pretty much back in the day, Twine was a ghost town. If you're lucky, you'd actually match up with one other person in a lobby. So unless you had a party, it was a ghost town. There's just literally no one in any mission. And if you did find someone, you'd recognise everyone's player names. In fact, I still remember quite a lot of the player names that I got to Twine with. And I know they're good players, they're good people. I know some of them still play, some of them have actually given up completely. But back in the day, you used to have to trap up pretty much the whole mission, just to have a chance to actually win the mission. Mainly because everyone was under PL, everyone was just low level, trying to do missions that were obviously a lot harder than what we should have been attempting. But everyone used to work together. Everyone was solid, everyone would try to, do everything, but that doesn't happen anymore. So nowadays you just end up in lobbies with people that don't want to play, that don't know how to play. And I don't know, my analogy, which it's not really a great analogy, but let's say you go to a place and you either work there or you pay your bosses to work, and you notice your colleagues, other people doing absolutely no work. They're just sitting there and they get the same rewards as you, and you tell your bosses, look, these people beside me aren't doing any work, I'm the one that's kind of doing everything, and your bosses just ignore it. I mean, how would you feel? If you're in a workplace and I know my colleagues were getting paid the same wage as me and they're doing nothing all day, I would be fuming. And the bosses would obviously investigate it and actually do something about it, which Epic refuses to do. But obviously people are just going to say, oh, it's a game. No, it's people exhibiting bad behaviour in a game, which puts me away from the game, which I'm going to do this video. I'm going to say Epic don't do enough. That's going to be out there on the internet. People are going to look at this video, maybe not, maybe will. And you know what, it's going to put people off their game, so end of with that. Moving on to the next point, people can disagree with us again, but the gameplay, the core mechanics of the game are pretty much the exact same as they've always been. Don't get fooled by these new beta store missions. Doesn't require any effort whatsoever to think about this. Eliminate and connect. Literally, you're just killing stuff and picking stuff up. literally it's just the same as any other mission, just a bit of code change, and people go, oh yeah, it's a new game mode, it's awesome. No mate, you're still doing the exact same thing that you're doing in any other mission that you've ever done in the whole existence of Fortnite. You know, it's just insane. What we do need is raid missions. Like, you know, fighting the Storm King. That's cool. You need more stuff like that in it, Epic. You really do. And moving on to another point which people may disagree with again is the hero rework. This was another bust. Literally, there's still a meta. There's not be funny. People are still playing the same heroes, doing the same builds as everyone else. The real reason behind this hero rework, it wasn't about, you know, making it more fun for us. It wasn't about kind of creating new play styles. If you think that you're an absolute joke, you do not understand the reasons behind you know, changes in games. You don't think about the real motives behind stuff. The real motive behind this hero rework is the fact that previously, to build a hero, Epic would have to come up with 3 abilities. They'd then have to have perks relating to those abilities to be added on. So you'd have maybe, don't quote me, maybe like 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of points that you'd have to add onto a hero, and that all have to kind of work together. So this new system's a lot more simplified. Pretty much just every hero has 1 perk, and then they increase it obviously if you choose that hero as your main hero. It's just laziness on Epic's part. I'll be honest, I just don't think the hero rework's done much, if at all anything. I haven't really experimented with playing lots of different heroes. I really don't see the point. I mean, there's still a lot of awful perks out there, which, yeah, it's not great. Whilst I'm talking about the hero rework, it's kind of going into talking about balancing and stuff, but I mean, you can play whatever hero you want. It's quite fine. Obviously, there's some that are like a lot stronger than others, which I won't even getting into because that's a completely different video. But would kind of like to bring up the weapons. Most people probably either use pistols, shotguns, or assault rifles, and to be perfectly honest, it's probably assault rifles that they're going to use. There isn't much love for snipers apart from, you know, if it's just a defender. And I don't think the weapons in itself are balanced. But anyway, I'm going slightly bit off topic. The main reason why most people are going to be leaving this game is the community being rubbish, and Epic not doing enough to prevent the community being rubbish. And for me, most importantly, is the grind. There's absolutely no reason for me to continue playing this game over and over again. There's just no need, really. Anyway, that is probably quite possibly going to be my last video for Fortnite. I am looking forward to games like Borderlands coming out, which sound like they're going to have a lot of content and a lot of replayability and a lot of grinding. I just can't believe the direction that Fortnite's going. Obviously, it's going in the way of casuals. They want people just to, you know, enjoy coming into the game, to kind of experience a little bit, for it to not be overly complicated, for there to not be any real grind. Obviously, back in the day, people complained about the grind, but I just think they've gone completely overboard and kind of killed the game off. There's no reason for me to replay this game over and over to get weapons that I only use, you know, once or twice and then never use again. But anyway, that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully it's a good few thinking points for people out there. I honestly can't recommend this game to anyone at the moment in its current iteration. Anyway, peace, later.